Hi, good morning. Good Monday morning or afternoon or evening, wherever it is there. I'm your teacher, Neal, for these Monday and Wednesday mornings, for what is me morning. Hi everybody. I see a lot of familiar faces here. I see some new faces and names here. Actually, I can't see all of your face. I can see your little round icon. It's good to see everybody. Good morning. Paolo, Singh, Zayed, Kauk Diva, 50, if that's your real name. Good morning. Rosa, again, of course, good morning. Rafael, good morning. Alvaro, good morning. And again, if I say your name wrong, you can always correct me, write it phonetically. I'm just coming back from my weekend. Had a very, very, very busy weekend. Did a bunch of stuff this weekend. Saw a concert. Oh, Alvaro, you're from Chile. Rafael from Brazil. A lot of people from South America here. Welcome. I'm not sure what time it is there. It's 7:30 in the morning here. 7:30 Monday morning. Week's just beginning, so that's why I have my handy coffee here to wake me up. Went to a concert this weekend, just some local bands here in Spokane, Washington. That's where I'm teaching from in the SEEL studios here. This is the studio in the background. 15:31, that'd be 3:30 there. 8 o'clock in India, 8 p.m. Holy cow, you're way, way, way ahead of us. You're way ahead of us. How did the presidential debates go? Did you see them? They'll be here later in my time. So a little bit of a time joke there. 11:30 in Brazil. Whew, crazy. So I went to let me finish my weekend. I went to a concert, then I went to an herbal fair where they teach you what to do with your plants, like the plants growing in your backyard, even the weeds growing in your backyard, like the plants we usually dig up and throw away. They tell you what the uses of those plants are. You can make all sorts of things with those plants, actually, and some of them are edible. Some of them you can eat. So I learned about plants, and then I went to a craft brew festival and tried some locally brewed beer. So it was a very, very, very busy weekend for me, but a fun weekend. Busy and fun at the same time. I hope your weekends were good as well. I hope you had a good time this weekend. Oh, John, you're writing an essay. Okay, so we are talking about paragraphs today, writing paragraphs. And actually, last Wednesday, I started this discussion with topic sentences. So maybe, oh, Rosa, you are also studying herbal medicine. That's kind of this fair I went to. There were a bunch of people who know how to use plants, and they make everything. They make their own medicine, they make their own lotion, they make their own ointment, which is something you rub on the top of your skin. Oh gosh, what else were there? Oh, candles, of course. Chapstick for when your lips get dry. I'm trying to think, what else did they make out of herbs? All sorts of stuff. Perfumes, of course, soaps, shampoos, a lot of things. Or you could just buy the plants themselves. I am from, I don't know if you're asking me, I am from Spokane, Washington. America, USA, good old USA. For those of you who don't know, maybe I can bring it up on Google Maps. And here we are on Spokane, so I'll start zooming out. Oh yeah, Rosa mentioned in Josh's class, another live class we have going on. I should put this in the background, shouldn't I? There. I'm zooming out of the map now. Okay. I know. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Rosa. I forgot I didn't have my green screen in the background there. Uh, so here is Spokane in the state of Washington in America. It's the northwest corner. You've probably heard of Seattle. Seattle's on the other side, the west side. Spokane is on the east side of Washington. It's near, as you can see, it's near the Canadian border here. This border here, if you can see it, it's very faint, but that's the Idaho border. And down here is Oregon. So we're close to Idaho. It's just like a half hour away, if that. Like I can drive there, I can drive to the next state in 20 minutes. It's a couple hours away from Canada, a few hours away from Oregon. But yeah, on the eastern side of Washington State, Spokane, Washington. Yeah, hopefully all of you will have a chance sometime in your future to visit it. It's a nice city. Like I said, I was busy this weekend. There's always something to do. There's always local music shows, and I love music, so I go out there and I see as many shows as possible. So yeah, it's not such a bad place. It's a small city. It's a small city, which means it's not quite as exciting, or it doesn't have as many things as Seattle, but at the same time, it also doesn't have traffic. There's not a traffic problem here. So it's pleasant. Okay, let's get to the topic already. Enough about me. Of course, I always start these the same way. If you have more information about these classes, you can always contact Zach. Right now, these classes are open, means anybody can come to YouTube, watch them, learn from them. I share my class notes at the end. But if you want more, if you feel you need more help with your English, we do have a subscription service. And the subscription service gives you marked assignments, means you do homework and a teacher marks it. Weekly quizzes, which means you take quizzes and the teacher marks it. A final exam, meaning at the end you test on everything you learned. And then if you pass that final exam, if you pass everything, you get a certificate. There are a number of classes that you can subscribe to, and this is a paid service, but you do get feedback from a teacher, and at the end of class, you'll actually get to talk to your teacher live, like with your voice. You'll be able to speak with your teacher and ask them questions directly, not just in the chat window like you're doing now. Alejandro, it's okay. I haven't even started. I'm still talking about the live class. You can still sign up. You can still subscribe. There are a number of classes available. I'll share that link in the class notes. And I might write a little bit in these class notes, but for right now, why don't I share the link with you in case you want them. I'm sharing the class notes with you now. Okay, and my name is Neal Hallgarth. That's my name. I know for some of you that's difficult to say because there's a lot of L's in there. Neal Hallgarth. Go ahead and look me up on Facebook. You can friend me on Facebook if you want. You'll see my picture there. And we started off talking about topic sentences. So I want to return, before I get to supporting sentences, I'm going to cover a little bit of what I covered last time, but very fast. So remember, a paragraph is a group of sentences that share a main idea. The topic sentence is the main idea. Supporting sentence develops the main idea based on the purpose of the paragraph, and we'll talk more about that soon. Then we have a concluding sentence, ends the topic in a way that is fully developed. And then I'm going to talk about this word unity. Unity is when supporting sentences connect the topic. So it's important in your supporting and even in your concluding sentence to have unity. You want to connect back with your topic, always with your topic sentence. Do you see, oh, do you see errors? Do we have grammar errors on our website? Really? Are you talking about this one? Do we have grammar errors? Please let us know. If we do, of course we'll fix those. And if you do find grammar errors, you are very smart. Good job. Good job. In my class notes, if you see errors, that's just because I'm going very, very fast. Notice I don't even, in my notes here, my vocabulary notes, I don't even put punctuation, period. Just notes. They're just notes. Okay, let's look at some mistakes to avoid. With your topic sentence, the first sentence of your paragraph, don't make it too narrow. Too narrow usually is a fact, something that you don't have to develop. It's simply true. So for example, Canada shares a border with the United States. There's nothing more to say about this. There's nothing to develop. It is simply a fact. There's nothing you can do with that. It does not make for a good topic sentence. Also, be careful about being too broad. Studying is difficult. Studying what? What topic? Why is it difficult? Difficult for whom? So again, this does not say enough. It's too broad. It's too big of a topic. Incomplete sentence. Why traditional values are disappearing. You have to have a subject and a verb. You have to have a complete sentence in order for it to be a topic sentence. So this looks like a question maybe, or maybe a noun clause, but not enough. It's not enough. It needs some kind of verb, some kind of action. Rosa, you're asking about cohesion and coherence. Those are good synonyms for unity. Yeah, cohesion and coherence. Okay. Final mistake to avoid is announcing. Announcing is when you kind of say something about yourself as a writer. I would like to discuss in this paragraph the growing concern of air pollution in my city. Okay, you don't need to say who you are, and you don't need to say it's a paragraph that you're writing. Your reader will be able to look at your paper and see that it is a paragraph, and they know that somebody wrote it. Now, for a personal paragraph, it's okay to use personal pronouns like I, me, my, mine. But for a topic sentence, when you're writing about a topic sentence and a topic paragraph, when you're writing about a particular subject, you don't need to say what that is. You don't need to say what that is. So, I would like to discuss in this paragraph, no. You could say there's a growing concern of air pollution in my city, or my city has the problem of increasing air pollution. The air pollution is increasing in my city. Only state the topic. You don't have to say who you are as a writer and that you're writing this assignment. In academic English, that's usually frowned upon. Frowned upon. That's a phrasal verb. I'm going to add that to the vocabulary. Frowned upon means here in my example, I have a passive sentence. Announcing is frowned upon by my professors. Okay, so that was topic sentences. Now let's talk a little bit about supporting sentences. So you'll start with a topic sentence, you'll end with a concluding sentence. In the middle are supporting sentences. And let's take a look at this. And I'm just going to give a little mini lecture here. What are supporting sentences? Well, the supporting sentences of a paragraph develop the main idea presented in the topic sentence. This development can come in the form of examples, reasons, description, etc., depending on the purpose of your paragraph. If, for example, you are writing an opinion-based paragraph, your supporting sentences will consist of reasons and details to support your opinion. If, on the other hand, you are writing a description, your supporting sentences will contain specific details to help the reader form a mental image. So again, you have to know what kind of paragraph you're writing. Are you writing one based on your opinion? Then you have to develop your opinion. You have to say why you have that opinion. If you're writing a descriptive paragraph, you're trying to describe something to somebody, you have to give specific details, what the person can see or hear or smell or taste or feel in order to help describe the thing you're describing. So supporting sentences are really dependent on what kind of paragraph you're writing. Now here's the idea of unity. It is essential that your supporting sentences stay on topic and clearly relate to the main idea of the topic sentence. So for example, if you were writing about car safety and your topic sentence said, the purchase of a new vehicle should be based on car safety, the supporting sentences would probably talk about car safety. If you went on to talk about something other related to cars, something that was also related to cars, such as performance or appearance or gas mileage, you're off topic. Even though you're still talking about cars, now you've entered a different topic for a different paragraph. Your supporting sentences should always be on the same topic. So if you mention car safety in your topic sentence, in your supporting sentences, you have to stay on that same topic. You have to stay on car safety. And I know that seems kind of obvious, kind of a duh statement, like everybody knows. However, it's a common mistake, I think especially by students, because students are always kind of in a rush to finish an essay. Teachers do not give students a lot of time to write essays. Sometimes you have less than a week to finish an essay, and so you need content. You need to write a lot of sentences, you need to fill pages, and sometimes just thinking about a very general topic allows you to write sentences about that general topic. And students often forget about unity because they're just trying to build content. However, when you write a first sentence of a paragraph, you've given yourself a guide on what you should be writing about. Stick to your own guide. Don't try so hard for content. Look at what you've actually written, especially in the topic sentences. You may have heard of an outline before. When you write an essay, sometimes teachers ask for an outline, meaning put down your ideas before you write the sentences about them. What will go in your first paragraph, what will go in your second paragraph, what will go in your third paragraph, and you just write down an idea. Stick to that guide, stick to an outline. That will help you create content. Don't panic when you write. Usually you know what you're going to write beforehand. Sometimes students have not given themselves enough time to finish what they write, and that's when unity starts to suffer, when you're trying to finish an essay under a time limit. John, I see you have a month to write 2 essays. A month is a long time, so you have about 2 weeks per essay. That's a good long time. I don't know how long your essays have to be. If you can write about a paragraph a day, usually that's enough to get an essay assignment done. And writing 1 paragraph doesn't take so much time. I know a lot of students, myself included, when I was in school, I would wait till the last minute, the day before, and write my essay. And sometimes I'd be up the whole night writing the essay. It's not the most effective method. Usually a paragraph a day is good enough. So try to stick to that timetable if you can. 1 paragraph a day. It's much, much easier and actually takes less time. Rosa, you get 45 minutes to write an essay on an exam. 45 minutes, I would imagine that it's about 3, 4, 5 paragraphs. You're still writing very, very fast. I think I could get probably at most 5 paragraphs in 45 minutes. I don't think it'd be the best essay, but it'd be okay. Okay. Rosa, okay, you asked the number question. How many supporting sentences in a paragraph? A paragraph can be any number of sentences. Sometimes a paragraph can be just 1 sentence, just a standalone topic sentence, basically a narrow factual topic sentence. But because these don't make for good paragraphs, you have to move on to the next paragraph after that. A paragraph could be 100 sentences. There's no magic number. However, for beginner writers, teachers suggest 1 topic sentence, 3 supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence. So 5. 5 is kind of that magic beginning practicing number. 1 topic, 3 supporting, 1 concluding. And I think that's a good guide to go by. In the future, hopefully you can write more supporting sentences. Actually, a good paragraph will have quite a number of supporting sentences, sometimes 10, as much as 10, because you want to fully develop the idea that you introduce in your topic sentence before moving on to the next topic. Hi, Tara, welcome. It's okay if you're late. Navjot, 40 minutes to write an essay in 250 words. I think that's doable. It's still a time crunch, I wish in school there was a way where we didn't have to worry about time when we wrote. But it seems like all writing is done under a constriction of time, a specific time limit. Not the best way to write, but I guess in reality everything has to be done at some time. Okay, let me finish supporting sentences. The connection between the supporting sentence and the topic sentence is called unity. This is what we call unity. If your supporting sentences are irrelevant or off topic, your paragraph will not be strong and may be unclear. Okay, irrelevant. Irrelevant means not important. Let me put that in the class notes. Not important, not related to the topic, not needed to be said. So irrelevant is it's just not going to fit. Again, I think when students need to develop content because their essay has to be a certain number of words or a certain amount of pages, they want to pad it. I'll put that, pad. Fill it with something. So padding your essay, you just fill it with sentences, and you don't care really if those sentences are related, because again, you're trying to get to your word limit or your page limit, and that's when you get these irrelevant sentences. You're just struggling, thinking of something to say. Again, always use your topic sentences as guides. Once you get a good topic sentence, the supporting sentences should be easy. Yes, the topics are the hardest part. You should spend the most time on your topic sentences. That should be the most difficult part. Then supporting, I think we all have enough general knowledge. I'll put that in too. General knowledge is information that you do not need to look up. You already have it in your brain. If you have a good enough topic sentence, sometimes you can rely on your general knowledge to fill in those supporting sentences. And your reader will know what you're talking about because they also share the same general knowledge. Of course, in a research paper, this is not what you want to do. In a research paper, you want to use what you found in a magazine, a newspaper, a book, online. However, for other types of writing, especially an in-class writing, you can fill it with general knowledge. Oftentimes that general knowledge is what you have been studying in class. It'll be the topic you're studying in class. So you, the other students, and the teacher share the same general knowledge because you've been studying the same thing. So, let's go. And Rosa, you say sometimes writing supporting sentences before topic sentence works. Yes, sometimes that works. If you know what you want to write about, but you're not sure exactly how that's going to look when you put it down on your paper, sometimes putting everything you know first, all your information first, you can go back and then make a topic sentence out of what you wrote. You can actually look at what you wrote and kind of make the topic sentence fit. There is no one correct order to write an essay. Some people write from the beginning all the way to the end. Some people go backwards, end to the beginning. Some people write it piece by piece and kind of move those pieces around and find where they fit. And that's how I write. If I have to write an essay, I usually write it in pieces. I write down a bunch of sentences I know I want to say, and then I start organizing later. So there's not one right method to writing an essay. Find what works for you, what you like doing best, what seems to make sense to you, and write your essays that way. You do not have to write it in order from top to bottom. Think of it more as fill in the blanks, where you need to fill in these certain amounts of sentences and paragraphs, and then as you develop ideas and you write down sentences, you find where those fit best in your essay. Hader, you say you get a C in your writing essays, meaning you're an average student and in between a middle student. You know, I've received C's on my essays before, sometimes B's, A's. I don't think I ever got a D, but it's possible. But I have had feedback from professors where I turn in the rough draft, the first draft, and they'll just say, this is unacceptable, this is not good. And then we talk about it, and then they help guide me to write a correct essay, a better essay. So it's hard. It's hard. Writing is a difficult skill. It took me years, and I don't think I began writing good essays until I was almost ready to graduate with my master's degree. So like 6 years of schooling. So 6 years of university. It's a long, slow process, one that will yield results. It'll yield good results. You will have good results if you keep practicing. But it's difficult and sometimes discouraging. Sometimes not getting a good grade can be discouraging. Don't be discouraged. Just means you got to keep working at it. Eventually you will become a better writer by practice. Same thing as piano or a martial art. The more you practice, the better you get at it. And don't be discouraged if you notice somebody is a better writer than you. In class, there were students that were always better writers than me. The thing is, you just got to practice, go at your own pace, and you will become a better writer. It is just a method of practice, practice, practice. Okay, speaking about practice, I'm going to show you a paragraph. In this paragraph, there's a topic sentence and there are some supporting sentences. I want to know what supporting sentences are irrelevant. I want to know what supporting sentences you would throw out. Which ones would you delete? So we're going to make this paragraph smaller. So go ahead. Maybe I'll read it first. And let me know if that's big enough for you to see. I can always make it bigger. Okay, here we go. In the small town where I grew up, I had many interesting and creative friends. One of my friends, Mark, was a talented musician. When a group of us would all hang out on the weekends, he would entertain us by playing songs that he had written on his acoustic guitar. Another one of my friends, Andrew, was a gifted artist. He could paint, draw, and sculpt. He was able to draw really funny cartoons to make us laugh, but he could also create really dark oil paintings that looked like the landscape of a creepy dream. Sometimes the three of us would take Andrew's car and go on a road trip together to Montreal, which is an amazing city. My friend Rob was interested in photography and was always carrying his camera around, taking really unique pictures wherever he went. He could take a snapshot of an old garbage can and it would somehow be beautiful and a little sad. After high school, Rob and I moved away to a big city to go to college together. Having such creative friends definitely made small town life much more interesting for me, and I enjoy thinking about the time we spent together. Okay, so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to look at this paragraph on your own. Again, let me know if it's big enough for you to read. Which sentences are irrelevant? Which sentences would you delete? Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm seeing the correct answers. A couple people figured it out. One that obviously doesn't fit is sometimes the three of us would take Andrew's car and go on a road trip together to Montreal, which is an amazing city. It's pretty obvious why this doesn't fit, because if we look at the first sentence, this is our topic sentence, our guide sentence. In the small town where I grew up, I had many interesting and creative friends. So all of the supporting sentences should talk about interesting and creative friends. Here it's talking about the friends, but nothing about their creativity, nothing about their artisticness. So it's going away. I'm taking it out. Boom, it's gone. That sentence does not belong. And I think you saw the other one. After high school, Rob and I moved away to a big city to go to college together. This writer is talking about Rob, who is one of his interesting and creative friends, but again, does not have to do with their creativity. It's just something that happened historically, true to this person. Take it out. So those two are obviously the two we can take out. Now, all of the sentences are about the creativity of this person's friends. So this is pretty good. At the end, I'm gonna agree this should not go. This should not go. Marcello, the reason why this shouldn't go is because this is our concluding sentence. This is our concluding sentence. So what's the point of this writer telling us all about his friends? Having such creative friends definitely made small town life much more interesting for me, and I enjoy thinking about the time we spent together. So this kind of wraps up the paragraph. It tells us the reason why this person told us about their friends. It's because for them it made small town life much more interesting, much more enjoyable. So now we have a reason why this person gave us this information. So that's good for concluding sentence. I think just those two, just deleting those two. And I know a lot of you identified those. I also saw something from Mr. Singh. He said sometimes brainstorming is difficult. For brainstorming, I'm just going to put this in the class notes. I just write down phrases. I don't try to get complete sentences. So earlier I talked about car safety. And then I just start writing all the words that I can think of that relate to car safety. What else? Let's see, what else for car safety? Maybe I'll make a list. Testing, you have to test before they can actually release the car. Testing. Speed. I think speed might be related to braking systems. The faster you go, the faster you have to stop if you want to be safe. Let's see. Well, part of car safety is driver training. We usually call it driver's ed or driver's education. So part of the safety is on the driver. Testing, like by testing I mean crash tests. Of course we have crash test dummies that they do the crash tests with. Let's see, what is I think in a car, we call it the car body, and then underneath the body you have the chassis. So basically the car structure, the support. We have, what else? Other pieces of cars. The bumpers, of course. So they're the physical components of the car that have to do with car safety. This is always where I start my brainstorming. I don't edit myself. I don't delete anything. Even if it's not going to appear in my essay later, I turn the editor off. I just allow myself to write. Seat belts makes me think of shoulder straps, baby seats, because you have to secure the baby seats with the seat belts. So just writing down everything you can think of, words and phrases. This will at least give you a start to imagine what kind of things can go in your essay. And then later on, you can start taking out the things you really don't need. But just thinking about the idea, writing everything down. Don't edit, don't delete. Just write everything you know about the topic already. If you have to research afterwards, you can. But start with writing what you know. Don't try to write sentences yet. Don't try to organize paragraphs. Just brainstorm. Write down words and phrases. And remember, turn the editor off. We got torque and horsepower. John, when you start talking about like that speed, torque, horsepower, and again, don't delete anything. This is more, for me, this is more performance than safety, and everything in a car is related. If you have a big enough essay, you can cover all these parts of a car. But if you are writing maybe like a 3-page essay, 4-page essay, you really have to narrow your focus. What about the car are you going to be talking about? So yeah, put down everything you know already, everything that's already in your head. Get it out on the paper. It's good for you to actually visually see what you already know. How about a little more practice? I always say practice, practice, practice. Practice makes perfect. So let's go back and do another little exercise. Maintenance, yes, I would say for safety, I think that's kind of a new one. Maintenance, of course, is very, very important. Maintenance is making sure your car is in the best condition possible. And of course, that means tire pressure and fluid level, like oil and window washer fluid. Of course, maintenance of car is very, very important towards safety. That's a good one. So again, just getting all these ideas out, and then you can start to imagine what your essay could look at. And that's how I brainstorm. I just write everything I know. Sometimes I end up with a page full of words, and I start picking out those words that I know I want in the essay, and I develop those into sentences. So here I am making a sentence. Even before a driver can use a vehicle, the vehicle is thoroughly tested in a laboratory setting. Okay, this is not the best sentence, but it is a complete sentence. So now I'm taking one of my ideas and I make it into a sentence. And if I'm not happy with that sentence, I can always change it later. Again, when you're writing, especially a first draft, turn the editor off and just write. You can always make a sentence better. You can make an essay better. You can add sentences. You can delete sentences later. Now you're taking your ideas and turning them into sentences. And I don't know where this would go. I don't know if this is first paragraph, second paragraph, third paragraph. I don't know if it's topic or supporting yet, but I'm now creating content for my essay, content that may end up in my final essay. So just write, and I always say this, turn the editor off. I'll put that in the vocabulary because that's ubiquitous advice, meaning advice that's good for every writer in any situation. When you first begin writing, turn the editor off. The editor is that voice in your head that wants to delete things, change things as you write. It's not a good way to write. It takes too long. It makes you think too much. Turn the editor off. Just write. Don't worry about mistakes, even punctuation mistakes, spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes. Turn all that off when you're writing. That's the only way to write. That's the only way you're going to get something on paper, is to turn that editor off. That can come later. That can be a later draft. That can be a second draft, a third draft. For your first draft, you don't need that inner voice telling you what's right or wrong. You just need to write. You just need to write. Your first draft should always be the writer's draft. Okay. Again, practice, practice, practice. Let's practice some more. Okay, here are some topic sentences. Let's look at these first two topic sentences. Can you think of good supporting sentences that would follow them? Let's look at the first one. My roommate has the messiest bedroom I have ever seen. Second one, parents do not need to spend money in order to show love to their children. Two topic sentences. Can you write in the chat window here, can you write some supporting sentences for these topic sentences? What do you think would be good support for these? And I'll let you think about this and write some of those. I'll be right back. First, a little music. Okay, as you can see, we've got a few sentences already. More will probably come in. I'll try to get more in there. So I've noticed that, like, one thing everybody thought of is when they thought of messiest bedroom, they thought of clothes. That's probably a good definition of a messy bedroom. So you described it to me. He does not keep things in right order. So a lot of what I read here was disorder and clothes everywhere. His clothes are everywhere. There are clothes everywhere. So obviously you're thinking the same thing. You're all using your general knowledge, which is good. Because he is disorganized, again, disorganization. As you step in his bedroom, you can see a lot of stuff like his clothes, especially the undergarments on the floor. His clothes are always out of the wardrobe. I've never seen our bedroom organized. He always leaves all his clothes spread for all the room. I'm going to use over all the room. Again, remember, you don't have to worry about editing. I'll be your editor for this one. One would realize that the room has never been vacuum cleaned, as you can see, dust on the furniture and gossamer on the walls. Good description of what a messy bedroom looks like. Of course, if this was one writer's work, you would only need to mention the clothes everywhere one time. But because we're brainstorming this right now, we have a lot of the same ideas, which is good, meaning this paragraph, this topic would make a lot of sense to a lot of people. We all know what a messy bedroom is and looks like, and if you needed to write about your roommate's messy bedroom, you could easily do so, and then everybody would understand. I think actually you described my bedroom. This is kind of what my bedroom looks like. Disorganized with clothes all over the place. In the morning, I just pick something up and I smell it, and if it smells okay, I put it on and I walk out the door. Okay, let's look at the second one. Parents do not need to spend money in order to show they love their children. Parents should show to their children that money is not everything in life, because there are other valuable things that we cannot buy with money. Instead of spending money on gifts, they need to spend time with them and get more involved in their lives. And we have some more sentences here that I'll paste in. So these are all good ideas. These are all good development. Their care for every little thing for their children makes them realize how valuable their parents are. Yes. I believe this kind of behavior he brought from his parents' education. Now, Marcello, this is the first one where I'm not sure, are you talking about the parents, Marcello, or are you talking about the messy roommate? Which person are you talking about? Are you talking about the children in number 2, or are you talking about the messy roommate in number 1? Because depending on the parents, this behavior, like you could have a messy roommate because his parents didn't raise him right. Okay, Raphael, and then we'll put in the last one here. His parents should teach, maybe him, if we're talking about a son, a male child, him to save money because maybe one day he will need this. Okay, all good sentences of support. I see you understand supporting sentences. Maybe, hi Ollie, you're just joining us for the very end. We're in our last 5 minutes. Why don't we work on one more? I wanted to get to concluding sentences, but that'll be next time. That will be Wednesday. In 2 days, we'll finish this writing topic with concluding sentences. And then we'll work on maybe writing paragraphs. We'll put it all together. Topic sentence, supporting sentence, concluding sentence. And maybe I'll add that to my class notes. So here was, this one was brainstorming. Let me make a little table here. I need 3. Okay, so there's a question before. How many sentences? Topic sentence should be 1 sentence. Supporting sentences, always, let's make it plural. For the topic of this discussion, let's make it plural. More than 1 supporting sentence. Let's go, we're at the intermediate level. Let's go 3 to 5 sentences. And then next topic we'll talk about concluding sentence, which will also be 1 sentence. So 1, and then because we're at the intermediate level, let's think 3 to 5 for supporting, and then concluding will be 1. So next time in 2 days, on Wednesday, we will do concluding sentences, and then maybe we'll work on, I'll give you a very general topic and maybe ask you to give me your paragraphs via the chat. So we'll work on an entire paragraph. So I'm glad you're liking this. Join me every Monday and Wednesday morning. I know some of you said you needed help with your essays. The only way I can actually give you feedback on your essays is if you sign up for this class. So take a look. Take a look at this live page. Remember the page where you found some grammatical errors, and I will send those along to our team to get those fixed. So we will rewrite this page. But if you do want teacher feedback at any level, it's a subscription service. You subscribe and you will receive teacher feedback. You'll get homework, you'll get quizzes. Otherwise, you're free to jump in on these classes on YouTube. My classes are every Monday, Wednesday morning. Nicole's classes are every Tuesday, Thursday morning. Josh and Sagan are in the afternoon, and then Mark and Sean are in later morning, early afternoon. So again, take a look at this page. It's in the class notes. I will share the class note link one more time. So I just kind of take notes of what we talked about during class. You can always look at these after a class is done to kind of remind you of what we talked about. Boy, I am running out of time. I don't think we have time for one more. We will practice more next time, which will be in 2 days. So that'll be Wednesday morning my time, which here in America we call Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 a.m. And then in your time, so if you join me this next time, I'll be here. We'll finish this discussion about paragraphs. You are welcome to sit in on all of our YouTube classes. We have several teachers. So until next time, great writing today, by the way. I loved your sentences. I loved your questions. And thank you for letting me know kind of what you're writing and what you're working on. And that kind of helps me kind of suit what I say to maybe what you're writing, what makes sense. It was great seeing all of you. I'm glad we had some new faces and names. And of course, I'm always happy to see all my old friends and students here. Oh, shucks. You're my heroes because you are learning a second language and you're doing it without any prompting. You're just doing it on your own. You're seeking out this channel, finding it. Go ahead and you can always friend me on Facebook here. Look for me. I haven't been very active on my Facebook, but I promise this week to post some stuff. So maybe some stuff I do in Spokane, and maybe also maybe some quizzes, little tiny quizzes. Anyway, it was great to see you all. I'll see you next time. Happy studying. Have a good couple of days. Have a good week. I will see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. I'll play you some music.